What's up gamers, Coach Nate here, back with another Valorant workout. Today we will be talking about basic utility usage, specifically with initiators. Initiators are one of the strongest agents when it comes to being able to control the flow of the game, so knowing how to maximize their potential is extremely important. By the end of this workout, you will be able to utilize these characters to take over your games and dominate the enemy. In today's warm-up, since we are talking about initiators, I want you guys to play two swift play games. The first one on a flash initiator and the second one on an intel initiator. Make sure you are purposely placing your utility and trying to maximize your impact throughout these two games. First, let's talk about the main goals of an initiator in general. Initiator's main goal is to gather info and set up their teammates for kills. Whether that be gathering information on a player's position, flashing an enemy, or cutting angles. All of these are different ways initiators can set up their teammates and duelists for success. Before we talk about the differences between attacking and defending goals for initiators, let's go over some key ideas. The first big idea is the concept of cutting angles for your teammates. What we mean when we talk about cutting angles is the idea that your teammates won't have to worry about a certain angle either because it's being flashed, mollied, cleared, or pinged. This then limits the number of angles your teammates have to hold on their entry or defense. The next big important concept initiators have to keep in mind is the idea of timing their utility. Most initiators, with the exception of Gecko, have some piece of utility that has a rechargeable ability. It's important to be able to maximize these rechargeable abilities as much as possible in the rounds, while also making sure that you're not spamming them. Knowing when to hold onto this ability is equally as important as knowing when to use it. Knowing whether to use different agents util or even to just group up and swing is also important. The more initiators you have on the team, the more important it is to communicate and cycle your utility properly. Now that we have an idea about the initiator's general job, let's talk about how to play with them on attack. On attack, our main goal as an initiator is to be setting up our duelists for success. We can do this by cutting angles or gathering information for our duelists. At the beginning of the round, assuming that we are not instantly hitting a site, your goal should be to create some space for your team to then take and probe off of from there. An example of this could be Sova darting bottom mid on Ascend, Sky dogging into garage, After creating the space, the next goal is to help our duelists as much as possible progress forward on the map while still maintaining the space that we just took. This is a difficult balance to have, but when done properly, it can make the enemy team feel a lot of pressure. As we move into the late round, it's important that we are preserving our utility when possible and making sure our cooldowns are up for our site execution. Hop into a custom game for 5 minutes and practice taking different parts of the map with your initiator utility. Make sure you are swapping between different agents. When defending, initiators' main goal is gathering information. Initiators are the main tools for defenders to gather information and then rotate accordingly. This either can be in the form of using an info gathering tool like a recon dart and a sky flash, or an aggressive push by using our flashes or even ults potentially. In the mid round, if your team lacks information, it's on the initiators to either use their abilities when it comes off cooldown to gather info, or coordinate some other type of push with their other abilities to set up their duelists for a re-clear of an area of the map. When it comes to the late round, it's really important that you are aware of your cooldown on big abilities and make sure you still have your other abilities late round to either help with the retake or hold a site. You can practice this by hopping into a custom game and finding good spots for your info utility or flashes that set your teammates up for early peaks off the barrier drop. In your next 2 ranked games, I want you guys to play an initiator and work on some concepts we talked about in this lesson. If possible, try and duo queue and tell your duo to play a duelist, as having a good teamwork with your duelist player can help a lot. Now that you know some of the basics for playing initiator on both attack and defense, it's up to you guys to use these tools to the fullest. Initiators are playing a chess match with each other the entire game, as a well-timed KO knife, Sova Dart, Breach Stun, or Sky Flash can stop an entire push. And on the flip side, if attacking initiators are better at managing their abilities, it can set them up for a stronger execute and leave the defending team with little options to respond. As always, it's up to you guys to learn and adapt as you play. Team comps that have a lot of stall utility require initiators to do a lot of work on attack as well as on defense, where more fast-paced games allow you to be a little bit more loosey-goosey with your abilities. So make sure you are always analyzing and adapting to the enemy. This wraps up today's workout on basic utility usage of initiators. Perfecting these agents will make you a powerful force in any game, so be sure to practice. Once again, I am Coach Nate, and I hope you guys have a great day.